global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness today. We have three news to render. We're going to ram it all into one very quickly. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and the bell notification icon to get both subscribed and notified listeners to update our channel on YouTube. We have about three news to render. One has to do with a prominent man of God, a prophet, who hears directly gave instances of what has happened in the time past. What Nigerians are to expect from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What is the fate of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi, and what Nigerians are to expect? And the second news, very quickly, a prominent man as well, prominent Nigerian, have also told Nigerians why Peter Obi may likely have picked the Dr. Datti. That's Reverend Biodun Fatoyibo took time to explain that. Then the third one, which is actually the most interesting, is what Dr. Datti, the VP of Peter Obi, running mate to Peter Obi, told Nigerians of who Tinubu is and who Atiku is and why Nigerians should do what they ought to do. Okay, let's quickly hit the ground running. Let's start with what a prominent prophet said that will definitely befall him or befall Atiku, and if he doesn't, then that he has made a vow upon his life that should happen to him. Let's go straight to the news. On Saturday, the Akin Soyinka and his team visited Siya Olagunroye Faleyimu, a GO, General Overseer of Mountain of Miracles and Blessings, Badagry, Lagos, at his home, where he granted the interview. He gave a shocking prophecy, and these are the ASAP. They asked him, "What do you have to say about the just concluded the APC primaries?" He answered us by saying, "I have said this before, that the primary election that His Excellency Yemi Osibanjo shouldn't listen to Pastor Adeboye on his prophecy and his presidential ambition. I also want Pastor Tunde Bakare not to disgrace himself as he fantasized becoming the Nigerian 16th president despite his failure in the primary. His church member still believes in his ambition of becoming the president." Then I asked him, 2023 presidential election is now between two giant parties, APC and PDP, and the two giant politicians, Tinubu and Atiku. So who did God tell you will emerge as the president? This is the answer he gave. He said, "God has shown me several times that Tinubu cannot be Nigerian president. Despite winning the primary election, let me also surprise you that Atiku too can't also emerge. He will not emerge the president in next year's election. Both APC and PDP both ABC and PDP will win all governorship elections, but the president will emerge from a new party." They asked him another question. "What assurance did you receive from God concerning this?" He answered, "My God cannot fail me. If Tinubu or Atiku emerge president in 2023, I will cease to become the prophet of God and I will return to farming in my village or even go back to my family traditional religion, Ifa or Lokun." A lot of Nigerians reacted to this, and of course the likes of Fatoyibo have also spoke his mind. But before we go to Fatoyibo's own, let's find out what Dr. Datti said about who Bola Ahmed Tinubu is and Atiku Abubakar. Okay, according to Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, the newly unveiled vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, has accused Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of pushing Nigeria into a mess by helping a bad leader become president because of his own selfish ambition to lead the country. According to Baba Ahmed, Tinubu's decision to join forces with President Muhammadu Buhari ahead of the 2015 presidential election was not born out of his conviction that Buhari was the right president or right person to lead the country. Baba Ahmed alleged that Tinubu is the ruling All Progressive Congress APC 2023 presidential candidate, only supported Buhari for his self-seeking ambition to take the reins of power in 2023. He stated this in an interview with Arise hours after Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi unveiled him as his running mate on Friday, while noting that Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar, the People's Democratic Party presidential candidates, are master politicians. Baba Ahmed said, "Right now, in the 2023 presidential election, all I can see is His Excellency Peter Obi, with due respect to others." He said, and I quote him, I've worked with Atiku. Atiku is knowledgeable in his own right, a master politician and all that. Tinubu is a master politician, but he didn't have to give a Buhari to Nigeria for 8 years because he wants to be president. He didn't have to do all that. If he was that good, he should have simply taken Nigeria in 2015. Why bring Buhari and all that has happened? He asks. He, Buhari, yielded to the master politician of Nigeria, Tinubu, because they funded him. FIRS belongs to you, that's Tinubu. SGF belongs to you, and he, that's Tinubu as well, is putting certain kinds of northerners so that they can either 2019 or 2023, he could then draft them as his deputies. This is wrong. Baba Ahmed described President Buhari as a bad leader whose alleged misgovernance plunged the country into its current economic and serious afflictions. He said the separate agitations for secession by Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho in the southeast and southwest respectively were a result of poor management of the country's diversity by the president. The agitations by Kanu and Igboho have been handled very poorly, because if for any reason I happen to be President Muhammadu Buhari, I would have in 2015 given Ogbonnaya Onu the SGF of Nigeria and told him I don't want to hear anything as such. But Buhari was such a bad leader. Why hold a part of the country with such disdain? Because they gave you 5% votes? He said it, so if I repeat it, I am not wrong. I am too Nigerian to succumb to answering questions about Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu. My overwhelming interest now by engagement is education, and by government rule is security and economy. His Excellency Peter Obi is of a certain technical opinion that they, Igboho and Kanu, hardly exist, and if you listen to his argument, he's right. If they had not been mismanaged, they would not be there today. Asked what Nigerians should expect if Obi and he were elected to office, Baba Ahmed said, "What I'm bringing to the table is a flair for educating Nigerians. There is a pyramid I was trying to build and block all the gaps in the entire population of Nigeria. One must fall into one of these, either civic awareness, enlightenment, education, and professionalism, and bringing to the table to the feeling of liberty to all Nigerians that we are taking back our country, which presently does not belong to us. Drive from anywhere to anywhere in Nigeria, stay in any hotel, and conduct your clean business, and Nigeria belongs to you. Right now, it doesn't belong to us, it belongs to people in the bush. Reform the typical family budget. Everybody is now spending on security. Blocking your windows, mental security doors, power generators, that is to those who can afford it. We want to make life simple so that you spend less on all of these things, because the government has spent money well to take those off your family budget, and bringing to the table consistency with the character of His Excellency Peter Obi to attract more of the new generation. We want to respectfully retire anybody who is beyond our average age between me and him, that's Obi. Logically speaking, you see, when I was completing my NYSC, one of my presidential candidates of today was presidential aspirant in 2018. I was aspiring with somebody who during my NYSC was the presidential aspirant. On how his candidacy will neutralize the stereotyping of Obi as a pro-Igbo politician, he said, I have been educating people about the basic difference of such terminologies that they were using, which I really don't have to say is even working. I'm working with a responsible and respectable clergy to further educate others to see people as Nigerians. There's a certain agenda which I'm doing deep down up north, asking them in the last 8 years, what have you had? You have had religious tribal bigotry and all that. For 12 years, 12 million people were insisting on you, Buhari. You finally got it, and in the last 8 years, what happened? The people became more insecure, they became more poorer, and you became more disunited. Now what do you want in your life? Do you want security? Do you want prosperity? Okay, please, let's show you how. Now we are getting a credible leader. We are presently convincing people up north that electing for yourself a good leader is practically putting money in your pocket, practically bringing security to your doorstep, education in your head, and healthcare to your body. I am in the business of classrooms. There's one sitting where I told them that there's no natural disaster in Nigeria, but look at the countries with responsible leaders, but with a great deal of natural disaster. Give them 6 months and they would have entirely recovered and be even better than before. But build better houses and better bridges than the ones the natural disaster destroyed. When you have just one bad leader, the ground would be shaking, not from earthquake, but from bombs dropping. That is where we are approaching very, very fast. The only train that was functional in Nigeria for passengers, not done by this government, has been blown up by terrorists. After all promises up till today, they have not fixed the train. They have not even secured release of the captive. And what do we have? The Kuje prison attack. If you want peace and prosperity, allow us to tell you what you need. And what you need is a credible leader. Wow. You have heard it all. Let's visit that conversation.